Chris, oh my God. Dude, this is the most
Hey,
Los
man.
Feliz movie premiere I've ever been to. I love it.
It doesn't get more hipster.
I live a mile away, yo.
There you
It's
go,
perfect.
dude. East side for life. Come on.
I gotta know, is that your actual van that you just arrived in?
God, no, I wish. I'll tell you something. I was coming out of my driveway and I couldn't find the brakes and I nearly careened into a Porsche. It was a hell of a way to start.
What an entrance, really. Though,
Yeah.
here's what I want to know. Where does Poolman Darren end and Chris Pine begin? Because we've been seeing you out in these streets with the long hair, the beard, the short shorts. Is that your everyday vibe?
I would say it's a fair dose of like 50-50. I think the character that I came up with just for probably the sake of ease is a lot me, for sure. So these are my shorts.
Okay.
This is my shirt.
So you both have influenced each other in some way.
There you go. Yeah, art, life, art. Sure. Yeah.
You described this passion project as part
Sense of, we wrote it in the pandemic, so there was a lot about being alone, and I know what it's like to feel alone, aside from COVID, and that feeling of being uncomfortable in your skin and searching for love and not knowing really how to find it. And I guess there are two ways to go about that. You can either make a really sad sack movie that has a lot of string quartets, or you could just go as fast as possible into silly. So I just decided to go as fast as possible into silly and make my experimental film.
Mr. Barrenman, I'm June Del Rey,
Yeah?
Executive Assistant to Councilman Stephen Torenkowski.
Steven's dirty. He's a threat to our great city.
Yeah.
I need your help taking him down.
Like undercover.
Yes.
I'm not really trained. Can I get back to you?
Well, what's so poetic too is that this is your directorial debut, and it's coming out 20 years after your first major acting credit on the Princess Diaries too.
What is your dilemma, young man?
You are, in fact.
I mean, it's 20th anniversary.
Yeah.
What do you recall about that first big job? That first big.
Terrifying. Actually, I remember the first when we had to do the premiere for that. It was at Disneyland, and I got picked up in a stretch limo with my agent, and we went there, and I was so nervous. I remember wearing Converse and like gray pants and just being absolutely terrified. Just because this whole experience of people shouting and doing the whole thing is like you got to get used to that whole thing. And
Have you gotten used to it?
yeah, over time it gets a smidge easier.
From a stretch limo to a Mitsubishi van. I love to see it.
Things are going.
They're going great,
man.
Oh, enough.